Three, two, one. That. Damn, Donda.
Ooh.
All right, y'all. So we have some interesting shit to talk about today. For those who don't know, one half of your favorite petty cousins has been able to listen to Kanye in the last 2.5 years. And another half of your favorite petty cousins, as you might be able to guess, has not been able to listen to Kanye in the last 2.5 years. So, as the representative of FREEISH, you like that, FREEISH?
That sounds like a ghetto bitch in a bubble jacket that's in the hallway yelling your name in the morning.
FREEISH, get the fuck back over here with my homework, bitch! You know I gotta see that shit for Mr. Patterson! I don't know what just happened, but yeah. Speaking of people who used to have their homework on time, let's get into this Kanye album. So, for those of you who are avid listeners, I gave a great story time about my experience at the Donda listening event in Atlanta a few weeks ago. So, definitely suggest that y'all go find that. If I can find which episode it is, we will link it in here.
Don't lie to the girls. Don't lie to the girls.
So, I feel like we have to preface this by saying I haven't been the biggest Kanye fan as of late. I know you have not either.
I don't give a fuck about it. We'll get there.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to get there now. Why the fuck don't you give a fuck? Let our petty cousins know.
Listen, here's why I didn't listen to Miss Donda, okay? I am tired of giving Kanye passes. So, from a person that grew up in Chicago, listening to literally late registration, college dropout on the radios and these mixtapes, I remember when Kanye got fired from Old Navy. Like, that was all over the news because he was just always this up-and-coming figure in Chicago. I remember also when he went crazy a few years ago and we all thought it was Kim's fault. And it just turned out not to be. And we thought Kim was making his music bad. I remember Life of Pueblo, where we thought back then, his beef with Taylor Swift was making his music bad. Now, I don't give a single solitary fuck, okay? You done came out with your Clark Sisters album. You done came out with your New Revolution, Kurt Franklin album. And I was like, you know what, girl? I'm going to lead you off the path and let God handle you. So that's why I didn't listen to Donda. I didn't even get a chance from the jump. Y'all already know she is the girl to give the girls a chance and, let everybody be great like Tina, she, and them. And I'm the one to come in and be like, I hate everything. So this time around, we wanted to go with... Right. I am very misanthropish. Okay? But no, it's very, this time around, we wanted to be honest. So I didn't listen to the shit. And I don't give a single solitary fuck. But I do want to hear his opinion on the album, and I want to hear why you listen to the album, because you're, again, this open heart that loves everybody and thinks everybody needs to be great. Sister.
Well, I do love to be the open heart of the equation of FREEISH. So, I do try to make sure I keep my heart as open as it needs to be for whatever needs to fill it. And I guess in this case, there was a big old slice of Kanye in there. But yeah, I know you've told me this story before. I know that you are a Lakeshore Drive-in. You are from there. That is your era, born, bred, blood, all of that. So I know that you have certain views towards Kanye. My views are a little more, I would say, general. Kanye, to me, he's whatever at this point. I grew up also being a huge fan of him. Love Graduation. Still have that poster for that shit on my fucking... Well, in my garage now, but, it was on my wall for a while. But, that shit, it was sickening. Even Yeezus, when people started canceling him over that, I was like, I'm sorry, but, I low-key stand Yeezus. It's so good to me. But somewhere between Yeezus and where we are now, it's like he really just kind of fell off for me. And, I'm not the first person to, quote-unquote, cancel people when they do something wrong. I definitely can cancel them in the court of public opinion. But in terms of their art, I'm sorry. But if the shit is good, I'm going to still at least listen to it just because, I'm going to hear the shit. So with Kanye, I gave him chances. I listened to Life of Pueblo. You got me saying Life of Pueblo, bitch. But listen to Life of Pablo, and just it wasn't for me. It's the album. I don't think I've played one song from that album in the last 3 years. So it genuinely, I heard it, I didn't like it. Yay, I haven't even heard, and the gospel stuff I haven't heard yet either because I had no interest in it. Which leads us to 2021 with the release of Donda.
So the question is, did Donda give what needed to be gave?
Did she give what needed to be gave? Stay tuned. I'm on my RuPaul shit.
Yeah.
Look at us.
You gotta throw in commercial, bitch. Stay tuned.
Chris and Ricky will be back for more pettiness right after the end of this random elevator music. Don't forget, your other video could be right here.
Alright, so, did I fuck with Donda? I'm gonna go with somewhere in the middle. And this is going to be more of a general review for it. If you guys want to start seeing more track-by-track reviews of albums, you need to let us know in the comments, let us know in our DMs, and we can definitely start trying to make sure that's something that we're able to provide for y'all. So, demand it, bitch. We're like MTV in the 80s. Demand us, hoe!
Let us know what did or did not need to be given or gave, or what. We'll figure out the title by the time the show come out.
You was giving very seashells by the seashore with that.
Oh my gosh! Listen. I'm a stutterer from way back. I can never get that shit. I was all like, shit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so let me pull out my Angela Yee notes, aka my Apple Music track listing, and we're just gonna give a more general review. So,
I'll be back, y'all.
In terms of the beginning of the album, there were definitely parts of it that I enjoyed more than others. In terms of what I can remember, I recall the God Breathe song. I heard that at the Donda event, and I remember that being one where I was like, ooh, I wonder if I could Shazam this yet. Spoiler, I couldn't. So hearing it now in studio, possibly, because all of these songs, I'm kind of wondering if they're studio quality, but hearing it in studio quality, I'm like, oh, bitch, I know shade, but I'm kind of rocking with this. You know, I love me a little house bop. And it was giving house bop. You would like it too, girl. It was giving fade. It was giving, like, updated fade. But in terms of the first party album, that's really all I was fucking with at first. Jail with Jay-Z, that was cool. But it wasn't like, oh my God, Jay-Z. It was just kind of like, oh, hey, Beyonce.
So he actually was on the track?
Yeah, he was.
Was the baby on the track?
We'll get to that.
Ooh.
So, moving on down, Off the Grid. I remember that being one I fucked with too. I was like, okay, Off the Grid. I'm liking you too. You giving me a little trap. Travis, whoever was on here, because he doesn't have features anywhere on this track listing for some reason. But that's fine because we gonna work with it regardless. Did you see this one move? This is what I was trying to go for. But, yeah, pretty much that was it for a while because I didn't like a lot of these songs. That was actually the majority of the album. I ain't like it until all the way down going on to track 1920. Mind you, this is a 27-track album. Yes, ma'am. You're going to have to get into all 1 hour and 48 minutes of it, which feels like 6 hours and 66 minutes. I've timed it. But hitting on down to track 20, this is when it started to get into the more gospelish type section, I guess you could say. And it gave very not gospel. It gave very almost gospel in the sense of like, like Sister Baptist. Remember her? That's a flashback from the past for the cousins.
Had Brandy and Shell fighting, child.
That's somewhere in our archives.
That's like first few episodes.
Get into it. But yeah, it gave very that. It gave very like Kirk Franklin would probably pass on this, but you would look at it and dust it off, add in a couple cuss words that you bleeped out because yes, another thing on the album. Bitch, did you know that this whole entire album was clean and there was not an explicit version available on the internet?
So
because I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. Oh, He really
Yeah,
coming
like
out
literally, there's not an explicit, but mind you, there are cuss words. They're just bleeped out.
Wow.
So it's like, bitch.
I wonder is the explicit coming out on the same day as Certified Lover Boy like it was supposed to?
Ooh.
I don't know much about algebra, but I know that.
I know I'm ready to get pregnant listening to Drake. We're gonna get to
Miss
him now.
Aubrey. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
But nah, just to round out this Donda review, yeah, the album, it was okay. It sounded to me like a retread of past Kanye albums. It's almost like, you know, when you have that last season of a show and they kind of spend that whole season kind of remarking and calling back and doing all of these things to kind of refer back to older parts of the show. That's what it gave me. So you had elements that sounded like, you know, oh, this sounded like it could have been on Graduation. This sounded like it could have been on Yeezus. But it didn't necessarily sound like the best of what was on Yeezus. It sounded like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it sounded like, I don't know, a Got Mick in a land full of Simones. It's like, you know, you had Simone and now you're trying to give us Got Mick. And it's like, but we got Simone. You know, she's the winner, not the runner-up of the runner-up.
So there are some songs. So like the originals were the ones that you performed to, and then this Donda album was just the ability to.
You know, in the words of Mr. Chris over here, it was a little for Around the House.
That was a yeah for Around the House. That's a well.
And that's about it.
That's it. So did it get what needed to be gave? It sounds like a kinda.
It sounds like if y'all want our top 4, y'all can demand it, and we will definitely make a quick playlist of it, and y'all can see the top 4 tracks, and that's all you need to hear. That's it. I'm telling y'all, that's it. For more FREEISH, make sure y'all follow and subscribe. We are here, niggas.